Well, 200 episodes of TNA Impact are now in the books. I don't know about you guys, but I felt kind of depressed watching that intro video they started the show with. This thing was filled with all these awesome clips of all the great, exciting moments of TNA's past. And the video itself was terrific. The production team did a great job. But the reason I felt so depressed is because none of those moments were representative of what TNA is right now. And for all the proof you need, look no further than the 200th episode of Impact. After the finish of the main event, Don West said something to the effect of, "It's so chaotic I don't understand what's going on." That was pretty much how I felt during the previous 2 hours. From top to bottom, this show was an absolute, utter mess. Now let me clarify something here, okay? There were some good things on this show that had the potential to be very good, but they were prevented from being very good by something that I have talked about ad nauseum since I started making these videos. The presentation issue. Sometimes it seems like TNA have absolutely no idea how to present a wrestling match or a wrestling angle in such a way that maximizes its effectiveness. Instead, they seem to do the exact opposite. Perfect example, Samoa Joe versus Hernandez. Okay, this was a match that I had wanted to see, and I think a lot of people had wanted to see for a long time. After Hernandez won the world title shot in that Feast or Fired match, I figured these guys were bound to cross paths sooner or later. And hell, I mean, with the right storyline, Joe and Hernandez could be a huge potential money feud. So what did TNA do with this? They gave the match a fleeting mention on the website. They threw it out there as the opening match in the show, the Curtain Jerker match. Hernandez pins Joe in about 5 minutes, ending Joe's several-month winning streak, and then the match was never mentioned again. They had a good match. I'm thrilled that Hernandez is finally getting a singles push, but the timing of this thing was all wrong. Okay, you spent months and months rebuilding Samoa Joe's character into the violent, sadistic badass that he always should have been. You pair him up with Taz, his character's got tons of momentum, and just when you've finally gotten to the point where you're starting to hear Joe's gonna kill you chants in the audience again, you job him out in 5 minutes. I have no problem at all with Samoa Joe jobbing to Hernandez. No problem at all. But the way they did this was such an enormous waste of a potentially star-making angle. I mean, just imagine if they had teased this match for a few months, built up to it, done it on a big pay-per-view, and then put Hernandez over Samoa Joe. That one match would have been enough to catapult Hernandez to the top of the card and into the world title picture. But with the way they presented this, like it was just a complete afterthought, like just another match, by next week no one will even remember it happened. Like I said in one of the knocked out columns, presentation is key. Presentation can make or break a match, it can make or break a storyline, it can make or break a character. And the second example of this was the 6-woman tag match, Awesome Kong, Tara, and ODB versus the Beautiful People. Not a good segment at all. And why? Because of how it was presented. You got Awesome Kong, you got Tara, you got ODB. We've seen on multiple occasions that the Beautiful People just really don't match up well with any of these women. I mean, the chemistry just isn't there. Right? Madison Rayne and Tara work together fairly well. That's about it. So the match is lame even before all the overbooking started. But then you start going off in a million different directions. You have the actual match. You have the tension between Kong and Tara, which boiled over from out of nowhere because you barely even teased it yet. You got the hostility between ODB, Cody Deaner, and the Beautiful People. And then you got the Motor City Machine Guns in the crowd with their conspiracy victim signs. Alright, the babyface team implodes, ODB's left all by herself, Kong and Tara start going at it, and it hardly gets any reaction at all because the live crowd is completely distracted by Sabin and Shelley. So the writers were trying to do like 4 things all at once, and none of it worked because it was so damn chaotic. There was just way too much stuff going on all at the same time. They needed like 2 or 3 different segments to properly get over all the angles they were working with here, but they crammed them all into one segment, and the result was a complete freaking mess. And I thought that since they had more time to work with, because Spike TV gave them an overrun this week, that they'd be able to properly space things out for once so stuff like this wouldn't be an issue. Apparently I was wrong. Example number 3, the World Elite. Here's the thing. I like this group a lot. They're already very over, and Eric Young cut a great promo, even though the announcers ruined it by talking over the whole thing. But the problem is, Eric Young is the leader? Really? Eric Young? You're telling me that 5 self-respecting heels are going to be led by a guy who this time last year was wearing a gaudy Halloween costume and called himself Super Eric? Did you really think anyone was ever going to take him seriously after that gimmick? He can be in the group, certainly. He can be the spokesperson of the group, but the leader? I'm sorry, that doesn't work for me. Hell, what about Brutus Magnus? He should be the leader. He's got awesome mic skills. He's got the look of a guy that other people would follow. He beat Eric Young in a match at Destination X, and he's always been portrayed as a strong, serious character. Eric Young, until like 9 months ago, that guy was just a big goofball. I mean, his whole character was written to be a joke for several years, and now all of a sudden he's got 5 other men following him in this new heel faction? It's going to take a lot to get me to buy that. Now, granted, they are off to a good start with this. All right, Eric Young's heel turn was done very well. He's delivered on the mic. He's been doing some pretty despicable things. The group is really over, so they're on the right track. They've just got a ways to go before I'm going to buy Eric Young in this type of role. Example number 4, Legends Champion Mick Foley. Now, am I happy that Kevin Nash is no longer the Legends Champion? You're damn right I am. Nash with the Legends title was a complete joke, just like Booker T with the Legends title was. But at the same time, Mick Foley isn't much better. I mean, really, Foley as the Legends Champion does nothing. Plus, this means that we're going to have to suffer through Foley versus Nash for the title at Hard Justice, and that's an absolutely horrible matchup. Okay, Foley and Nash are not the most mobile of wrestlers, clearly. I mean, both of them need fast opponents like AJ Styles and Kurt Angle to to create movement around them in order to have a good match. And even then it's a crapshoot, like we saw at Victory Road. And now you're putting them in a position where they're going to have to carry each other, not to mention the fact that it's going to be a complete clash in styles. That match is going to be atrocious. Fans aren't going to pay money to order Hard Justice to see that. Are you kidding me? And speaking of Hard Justice, this isn't a presentation issue per se, but it is a pretty big criticism. Hard Justice is in 2 weeks, and I have absolutely no idea what most of the card is. I do know that it's going to be Kurt Angle and Sting, again, with either AJ Styles or Matt Morgan thrown in there. That might be good. Angle works great with AJ and very well with Matt Morgan, so you're going to have 2 guys in there who can carry the action and cover up the fact that Sting can't really do that much. You got Foley versus Nash, which will be terrible. And you got a Terror Dome / Steel Asylum match, where none of the participants have even been announced yet, ergo, I don't really care about it. And then when you add in the probable Booker T. Scott Steiner versus Team 3D match, and this card looks even worse because Booker and Steiner are just like Foley and Nash. They need fast opponents to carry them. Now, I love Team 3D. They always work hard, and they can still go when they have to. But I just don't think they have it in them to carry these guys. And put all that stuff together, not to mention the fact that the rest of the card, I have no idea what it is, hasn't been announced yet or anything. And Hard Justice looks really, really bad right now. So here's the thing. I felt like I wasted my money on Victory Road. That pay-per-view was lousy. Absolutely lousy. So I'm not going to order Hard Justice. I'll stream it. I'll review it. But I'm not paying money for it. I do not have high hopes for this pay-per-view at all. And most of it feels like they're just killing time until the Bound for Glory hype starts. I don't feel like the writers made a good effort with this pay-per-view, so TNA is not getting my money this month. And finally, on a more positive note, news is coming out now that in the absence of Jeff Jarrett, Dixie Carter is stepping up now and beginning to clean house on Jeff Jarrett's backstage cronies. Thank you, Miss Carter. Thank you. Dutch Mantell is gone. I'm certainly not going to complain about any member of the current creative team getting the boot at this point. Savio Vega's gone. He was working as an agent for the Knockouts division, and after seeing the drop-off in quality of many of the Knockouts matches in recent months, I'm not upset about that either. Now, I don't know who's going to have booking power when the dust settles, but either way, it is time for a change in this company, and it looks like that's finally happening. And you can be damn sure I'll be paying close attention when the spoilers start coming out next month. And I think that'll about do it for this week. I did not care for Impact at all. It was not a good show, in my opinion. AJ and Matt Morgan had a good match. Joe and Hernandez had a good match. Eric Young cut a great promo. But once again, the presentation pretty much killed everything. Except for AJ and Matt Morgan. That was done pretty well. Anyway, Thank you very much to everyone who responded to the memo for TNA video. I really appreciate it. Please keep that feedback coming, and I'll talk to you soon.